Hey guys, Matt Easton here, Schola Gladiatoria, and I've got wood like you wouldn't believe right here. We're going to talk about sticks briefly, but this is just a fun little passing thought video, and I'd be interested to hear your responses to it. But I've been working on a few other videos and wanted to put a short video up in the meantime for you guys. And something crossed my mind yesterday. I went for a walk. I live near quite a lot of forest and open land and stuff, and I went for a walk. And every time I go for a walk, I would love to take one of my nice sticks, one of my nice walking sticks. But I am, surprisingly perhaps to some of you, socially inhibited enough that some of my antique sticks I just would feel kind of too conspicuous to take out. Now, some of them kind of would pass the test of kind of low-key enough, and some of them are just kind of ridiculous. So I mean, this one is actually it's actually got an officer's initials to it, a captain of the Staffordshire Regiment who died in the 1890s, and this is massive great hunk of ebony with a huge great knob I've got here on the end. And this thing was clearly, it was carried around in India in the 1890s, and presumably it had some kind of authoritarian or self-defense mindset behind it. It is a massive great clump of wood. It's essentially a cudgel, and it's lovely, and I'd love to walk around in the streets with that, but I just feel kind of stupid and conspicuous doing so. I've got this much more conservative ebony or blackwood, I can't remember which it is. I think it's ebony, this one actually. And yes, it does. I know some of you will go, oh no, Matt, that's blackthorn. It is not. This is carved. We've looked at this stick before on the channel. These little bases of thorns aren't bases of thorns. They are literally carved on. I've tested this, and it is ebony. Or African blackwood. I can't remember which, but anyway, it's not blackthorn, but it's clearly carved to look like blackthorn. But even this one, which is less conspicuous, I might on occasion take this out, but I feel a little bit too conspicuous doing so. So what I actually go walking with is this stick, basically. It's just a boring old stick. I'm not even sure what wood it is, but it's quite strong, and I actually got it from the place where I predominantly go walking, on some freshly coppiced, I think it was, tree, and I just thought, oh, fresh wood, grab some, and took it home and turned it into a walking stick. So the fact is, I've got lots of really nice walking sticks, but I feel socially inhibited taking them out. Now, on this channel, we talk a lot about everyday carries and self-defense implements, which obviously we're not legally allowed to carry in the UK, but clearly you could walk around with a walking stick or an umbrella or various things like that. Now, I understand that in some parts of the world, certainly in some parts of America, for example, in Texas, I know that you can legally walk around wearing a sword. Great, many things I love about Texas, but the fact is that in the UK, even if we legally could do that, and there are some situations actually where I can legally carry a sword around in the open in public if it's for a specific reason, a specific legal reason that is, but nevertheless I would feel socially inhibited and I wouldn't do so most of the time. And that's often what these things come down to, and I've spoken about in previous videos that often it's not about the most awesome weapon or implement or walking stick or thing that you could walk around with. It's like, what would be convenient, number one, number two, what is socially acceptable. So here's the question for you people, wherever you live. First of all, say where do you live, and what is the most, what kind of things do you feel socially enabled, legally enabled, but also what do you think socially acceptable for you to walk around with? What sort of walking stick would you personally carry around? Would you feel comfortable walking around with this massive old cudgel, or would you feel a bit stupid like I do? This is kind of borderline for me. It makes me feel a bit like I don't know what it makes me feel. It makes me feel like I'm trying to look like Swanky with a cane. Not quite like a pimp stick or something like that, but it's not like a diamond-studded skull on top of a ebony cane. But this, however, is so low-key that this is a stick, and functionally, it's very similar. And that I have no reservations whatsoever, certainly where I live, walking around with, because it's a practical kind of thing to have. I use sticks actually for all sorts of stuff walking around in the woods. So what things do you feel socially acceptable for you to walk out? Do you feel Do you feel it's fine to walk around wearing a Bowie knife? In the UK, we can legally carry sub 3-inch non-looking blades. Lots of us everyday carry pocket knives. Perfectly legal, but I wouldn't feel comfortable, even if I had a legal purpose, walking around wearing a really big knife on my belt, even if I was going out to do some forestry work or some other legal reason. I would feel a bit weird walking down the street wearing a kukri in the UK. Certainly where I live in the UK anyway. Maybe if I was out in the wilderness it might be a bit different. But anyway, so I'm interested to hear, where do you live specifically? Obviously not your full address, don't put that online. But where do you live and what kind of things do you feel socially comfortable wearing in public? I'll see you soon and I'm looking forward to your answers. Cheers folks.